Hello, this is Todd Waterman, pre-sales solution engineer with Velocio. I'm going to go over SilverLeaf horticulture demand planning today and a little bit of production planning. Okay, so first of all, this is our role center. This is my production manager role center, which means, everything really on the screen has to do with production. So what first I'm going to do is start with the demand forecast, right? I think we all start with the demand forecast. It's really just a glorified spreadsheet. So you can see I have a few different forecasts in here. I got one for my annuals 2024. I got grasses, perennials, shrubs, right? You could plan, every program in one demand forecast if you want. I chose to split it up. Let's go ahead and take a look at this annuals. That's what I'm going to be working with today. All right, just to go over the screen just a little bit, I called my demand forecast annuals 24. I'm looking at view by week, so I'm planning by week, which I think most of us do that, but if you wanted to, you could be day, week, month, quarter, or year. Let's go ahead and leave it at week. I am filtering for just one category of annuals because I'm just planning annuals here. And I'm also doing it for one specific location. Like in my database here, I have several physical addresses of different locations, but I'm just planning for one of them, which is I call the main location. And that's about it for filtering. So what you can see is, just like I said, this is really just a glorified spreadsheet. And so it has all of my annuals listed here, and then the weeks go across the columns. So I am planning for 2024. So what I'm going to use is use my little date filter. And for today's exercise, I'm just going to do 1 week just to keep it simple. But obviously, you can plan multiple weeks at once. But I'm going to type W for week and 20 of 24. And then it should filter right to my week that I put numbers in week 20. So what this means is that in week 20, for instance, for my Supertunia really red 4-inch, I want 1,500 of them to be sellable on week 20. So when we do the planning, it's going to go backwards to tell me when I have to start this crop to finish in week 20. Okay. So that's all there is to the demand forecast. Really, like I said, it's just to put in your forecast in, we can bring it in from Excel if you want to start there. But again, this is really just the same thing, glorified spreadsheet inside of Business Central. Let's go back out of here. And now we're going to go to what's called the planning worksheet. This is my favorite tool. It does not look like much, but I call it the one tool to rule them all, because this tool not only looks at that demand forecast to help you plan your production orders, right? It's also looking at all of the demand and supply throughout the whole system. So it actually helps you suggest to either maybe grow less, maybe grow more. You don't have to take that suggestion, but it does give it. So what we're going to do first here is we're going to calculate my plan here. And what's interesting about this, it does MPS and MRP at the same time. I don't like to really use acronyms. Basically what that means is this MPS is our top level, like those all those annuals that we planned in our demand forecast. And then the MRP is going to be any inputs. They could be plugs that you have to grow, liners that you have to grow, seed, right? But it also does purchasing. So if you have, like for instance, proven winners and you have to purchase the liners rather than grow them yourself, this tool does all that. So what I'm going to do is separate it. First, I'm going to do my top level. I'm looking at my annuals forecast. You can see I have all my forecasts, so you can choose whichever one you want. Today we're doing annuals. I'm going to delete this liner thing right now because we're going to plan at our top level, and I'm planning for my main location, just like I had in my demand forecast. All right, let's do it. Take just a little second here. It's one of the reasons I did 1 week, just so it calculated faster. All right, here we go. So here, those are all those items that we saw in the demand forecast. So you can see here, I got my main location here, the action message suggesting that we create a new production order. You can even see our start time. Remember, we wanted this ready by week 20, right? So you can see it went back to say we need to start on 4/3. That's pretty much it. And then here's the numbers that were in our forecast. Real quick, I'm going to click on one of these, this Petunia Easy Wave pink here, and even from this screen, we can actually look at things like the components. right? What do we need to make this product? Well, first of all, we need a plug petunia, and we're actually going to grow that. You'll see that in a second. We need one of those plugs. I need a 4.5-inch black pot, and I also need a tag. Easy Way Petunia tag. Okay, and I can also look at the routing, which is really the steps to grow this product and the time. So I have a transplant phase here that's going to be for 28 days. Again, this is for this time of year. We have seasonal grow times depending on what time of the year as far as the grow time. But the transplant is 28 days. Then we're going to space it for another 14 days. And the last step is just to output it to inventory to finish. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and just accept this. I say carry out action message. And what this means is whether it's a production order, assembly order, purchase order, transfer. Remember I said this tool does all these things. I'm specifying I want to make it a firm planned production order. If there's any assemblies, we're going to make those purchase orders and so on. Okay, so let's just go ahead. Now it's going to actually create all these production orders for me. Pardon me. Take just a second here. Okay, now they all disappeared. So those are all created, and that actually just made our availability as well. So once I've firm planned those production orders, sales will see that in the future that that's coming. So that actually created availability for us. And then as we carry out production, the numbers will change obviously as we update. So now we're all empty here. I'm going to go back to my prepare, calculate again. This time I'm going to do, inputs, any purchases, what have you. I'm going to add a quick filter here for my item category. Whoops. I'll put the item category code, and let's just look for plugs, right? I'm the plug guy. I need to know what plugs I need to grow for the finished production. So I'll say okay. And there we go. Those are those Easy Way petunias, that example we looked at, right? So I need plugs. So here it's starting all the way back at 229.24 here because it has to be in time for that 4/3 start of the actual 4-inch. So let's go ahead and we'll create that too. All right, let's do one more. Let's check liners this time because I'm the liner grower. Here we go. Okay, a couple things to notice here. So see, we have some proven winners in here. So this is actually purchases that I'm going to get from Pleasant View Gardens. But then if you scroll down here, there's some Argyranthemum down here where I actually grow the liners myself. So that's going to create a production order. So let's go ahead and accept this. We'll create all my purchase orders for me and also my production. So we'll go back here. We'll carry this out. So again, it's creating all the production orders for me and all the purchases. And there we go. So that's a quick peek at demand and production planning in SilverLeaf. Thanks very much.